Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, or whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it as we continue to count down the days until the college football playoff starts, until Christmas, and until the new year gets here. I wanted to come on here live for those of you that are friends of mine on Facebook. First of all, thank you for doing that. But second of all, you know that today is my wedding anniversary. Today, me and my lovely, beautiful, wonderful wife are celebrating 13 years of marriage bliss. But she is asleep now, so I wanted to come on here and do a video and talk some college football. I almost skipped doing a video today because it is my wedding anniversary. Good evening, Keveron, but I figured by this time the day's almost over with, so what the heck. And I wanted to make my first round playoff predictions for the college football playoffs because 24 hours from right now, the first playoff game should be either at halftime or almost halftime, and I'm covering high school basketball tomorrow night, so I may not be able to do a video tomorrow night. Hopefully, I will, but just in case I'm not, I wanted to go ahead and do my playoff predictions now for the first round. If you come on here live, do just like Keveron did and make sure you leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure you like the video, give the video a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. It takes about 2 seconds, helps the channel out tremendously. But Jake Dickert, who was the head coach at Washington State, is now the new head coach at Wake Forest. Wake Forest former coach Dave Clawson resigned earlier in the week, and Dave Clawson resigning is just like Nick Saban resigning, just like in the college basketball world, Tony Bennett resigning, Jay Wright resigning. It all has to do with the transfer portal, NIL stuff. They feel like it's not worth the trouble, it's not worth the hassle. And in the case of Wake Forest, you're not going to compete because you can't pay these kids what these big time college programs can. And Dave Clawson was very, very, very successful at Wake Forest. In the last 2 years, he's gone 4-8, and he's had a couple of quarterbacks that have transferred out of the program. And then this year, he had a quarterback transferred in Hank Bachmeier, but Hank Bachmeier does not fit the offensive scheme that Dave Clawson wants to run, but he's better than the alternative, which basically was nobody. But Sam Hartman played at Wake Forest for 90 years and then transferred his last year, and that pretty much tells you about what Wake Forest is now. After going 4-8 back-to-back years, Dave Clawson said, I can't compete, I'm done. But Jake Dickert transferring there pretty much is why we have the transfer portal. I hate it. I don't like it. But Jake Dickert does a press conference talking about how the transfer portal is bad for the game, which he's right, it is, and how it needs to, change and all that, and talking about his players leaving the Cougars and going to other places. And the very next day, he leaves the Cougars and goes to Wake Forest. But coaches do it, and nobody bats an eye. But players do it, and everybody gets upset about it. We need more head coaches that are going to be willing to be like Joe Paterno, and that are going to be willing to do what Bobby Bowden did after he got to Florida State, and do what Kirk Ferentz now has done at Iowa, and do what Dabo's done at Clemson. We need these coaches that come in and get a job at a school and stay there for 25, 30 years, because we can't talk about players transferring and then we have the coaches pretty much doing the same thing. They'll leave their school and go get a job at a bigger school to make more money. Same thing the players do. It's wrong for the players to do it, but it's also wrong for the coaches to do it. So if you're the coach, you can't complain about players doing it when you're doing the same exact thing. Michael Vick is now the new head coach at Norfolk State, which is a small school right outside of Newport News, Virginia, which is the hometown of Michael Vick. There was rumors on Tuesday that he was going to go to Sacramento State, and I said, nah, if he's going to get a job, it's going to be at Norfolk State because that's his hometown, and what better way to start your coaching career right outside of where you grew up and went to high school at. Caden Salter, who has been the Liberty quarterback and pretty much announced he was transferring the day the regular season ended, is transferring to Colorado to take the place of Shadir Sanders. And DJU, the former quarterback at Clemson and Oregon State and Florida State, announced, I believe it was on Tuesday, that he was entering the NFL draft. Rumors came out back probably about mid-October that he wanted to return to Florida State. And now him leaving to go to the NFL draft pretty much lets you know that he wanted to return to Florida State, and they probably pretty much in a nice way said, DJ, thanks, but no thanks. So I guess instead of transferring again, he just decided I'll win the draft. DJ has all the tools to be a phenomenal quarterback. If you watch college football and not just, one certain team or one certain conference, but his freshman year at Clemson, he had to play against Notre Dame because Trevor Lawrence was out, and he went out there with basically almost no experience and had the most passing yards ever against Notre Dame, and everybody went crazy because he showed you right away how good he could have been. Hey there, Weeple. Glad to have you here. Thanks for commenting. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Make sure you like the video and give the video a thumbs up. But after that game against Notre Dame, DJ pretty much went backwards. But he's tall, he's big, he's got a live arm, he's got a strong arm, he's got an accurate arm, he can run, he's got all the tools to be a good quarterback. But then when he gets on the field, I guess it's between the ears. I don't really know, but he has everything that you need to be a five-tool quarterback, but he just sucks. Hey there, running man. Glad to have you here. Merry Christmas to you as well, Weeple Deeple. For me, Christmas started early because today is my wedding anniversary. My wife and I got married the week of Christmas. So for me, Christmas starts today because what better Christmas present than your 13th wedding anniversary. All of you that follow me on Facebook know that today is my wedding anniversary because my wife posted it around lunchtime today. Hey there, DB. Glad to have you here. And now it's time for my predictions for the first round of the playoffs. I'll start with tomorrow night's game since it's the first game going to be played. Kickoff is supposedly shortly after 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night, which probably means 8:30, but it's the only game that features both teams from the same state. Hey there, either KL, I guess that's how you pronounce your name. We have Notre Dame and Indiana. Now, I would love to see Indiana win this game because I would love to see Indiana go to the national championship just because of the fact, they're brand new here. And even though they had a really good season, Notre Dame is really, really good. And I would love to see Indiana pull off the upset. But I think Notre Dame just has too much talent. And honestly, really, truly, this ain't one of those years where Notre Dame is just hyped because they're Notre Dame. They're actually a really, really, really good football team. And no, DB, I am not nervous. This is the way I talk when I do videos so that everything I say comes out clear and nobody can misinterpret what I say because it's clear and it comes out clear. But I am not nervous, but thank you for asking. I've never been nervous doing these videos, but if you get on here and you don't stop and pause when you talk, people are going to say, huh? What'd you say? What'd he say? Say that again. So I make sure that I say it clearly. That way people understand what I'm saying. Notre Dame will defeat Indiana. I think it'll be a close game, but I just think Notre Dame is the better team. And then Saturday at noon Eastern Time, we have Penn State and SMU. And I think Penn State wins this game. 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Saturday, we have Texas and Clemson. And if you follow the channel, you know that I've mentioned 3-4 times this week. Thank you, DB. It's 13 years today for me and my lovely, beautiful wife. And for those of you that are new here, I used to have an intro video to the channel. I stopped it because it was probably 2 years ago when we done it. And I feel like people are going to watch that and think, boy, your kids never age, do they? So I just stopped showing it. But I used to have an intro to every video that I did, and it showed my wife and my kids. I have a daughter and twin boys. So if you're new here and you have not seen my wife or my kids, feel free to scroll through the channel, go back, I'm guessing 5 or 6 months, you should be able to see the intro video and see my wife and my kids. So if ever in the future I mention my kids or my wife, you can put a face with the name. But we have been married 13 years today. Hey there, Puerto Rican girl. Glad to have you here. Good evening from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you, sincere. Since you're here just in time, I'm talking about my wife and I celebrating our 13th year of being married. Today we got married December 19th of 2011. So Christmas officially starts for me on December 19th, because what better way to celebrate Christmas than your wedding anniversary? 13 years today for me and my beautiful, lovely, lucky wife, because she's lucky to have me. But if you follow the channel, you know that I've mentioned at least 3-4 times this week that I think Texas wins this game. I'd love to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Thank you, sincere. And if you're new here, I just mentioned this, but you can go back probably, I would say, 6 months ago or so, and any time before that. I used to have an intro video that I played in every video that I did. That way, people could see my family, since the channel is called Ref Brandon and the Todd Family. But when we did that video, my kids were probably, I would say my daughter was 8 and the twins were 4. And now my daughter's almost 11 and the twins are 6. And we just stay so busy, we have not had enough time to do a new video. And I just thought people are going to eventually start saying, why are your kids not getting bigger? Why are your kids not getting older? So I thought, you know what? I'll just quit showing it. So I still have the video. I just no longer play the intro video. But if you're new here and you have not seen my wife and kids, you can go back to probably 6 months ago, anytime before that, and see my family. And no, sincere, I am not in Mississippi. Believe it or not, I have never been to Mississippi, not any part of it. But I want to be wrong about this game. Obviously, I want Clemson to win. Hey there, Marcus. Glad to have you here on this Thursday night. I want Clemson to win. And, of course, when I watch the game, I'll be pulling for Clemson. But I just don't trust their offense. I don't think they score more than 17. And I just don't think you're going to beat Texas by scoring 17 points. So give me Texas. And the final game in the first round, and I think will be the best game of the first round. 2 evenly matched teams. 2 teams that pretty much are run about the same, built about the same. They start out slow on offense, and they both have really good defenses. And I think this game will come down to which team can make the most plays on offense. Ohio State and Tennessee. And give me Ohio State. So in the first round of the playoffs, I'm picking Notre Dame over Indiana, Penn State over SMU, Texas over Clemson, and Ohio State over Tennessee. And I believe Notre Dame, Indiana is 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and then Saturday, noon, Penn State, SMU, 4 o'clock, Texas, Clemson, 8 o'clock, Ohio State, and Tennessee. So enjoy the first round of the college football playoffs. Notre Dame, Indiana tomorrow night will be the first ever playoff game for the 12-team playoff field. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. And again, those of you that follow me on Facebook know that today is my wedding anniversary. And thank you, Sincere. Hopefully, 3 of them are right and 1 of them is wrong. I'm hoping Clemson wins. I just don't see it. But when I make videos here, I try to be as honest and as transparent as possible. And I would be 100% lying if I came on here and said, I think Clemson's going to win, because I don't. I want them to. I'll be pulling for them. But if they do, I'll be surprised. But I have to call it the way I feel, not by what I want to happen. And I think Texas is the better team, and I think Texas wins. But hopefully I'll be wrong. This is one time where I want to be wrong, and I'm hoping I am wrong. But if you don't follow me on Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook anytime. I don't post a whole lot. Normally, if I do, it's either something crazy and funny, or it's something to do with me being a referee for wrestling. But if you follow me on Facebook and I do post something funny, you'll see it. But I do respond to any message I get on Facebook, so you could always follow me if you'd like to. And Sincere, we didn't do anything because I worked today and my wife worked today. And by the time I get home, the day's pretty much about over with. And we can't go anywhere tonight because we have kids that have school tomorrow, and I have to work tomorrow, and my wife works tomorrow. So we didn't do anything, but we made it through another year of marriage, and this day and time, that's the most important thing. But in my household, in my family, we stay very, very busy. And tomorrow night, when I get off one job, I have to go cover high school basketball for another job. So I'll be out late again tomorrow night. So we stay very, very busy. Hey there, Fox Lover. Glad to have you here. But let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Did you know that a martial arts master enjoys his favorite beverage? Karate. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.